it happened to us, and or we were called for it, penalized for it, and then when it happens to us, it doesn't get called, and that's super frustrating. It's like, at the
Ugh.
very least, be consistent. And I know they're two different games and probably two different officiating crews, but come on, like, you've got one job. It's be consistent with
Well,
your calls.
and it wasn't like, and obviously no one likes when calls are missed. It's more frustrating to see the flag come out, everyone talk about it, and then decide to pick the flag up.
Yeah.
It's like, come on!
Yeah.
Like, obviously the guy saw what he saw. And then they decided, you know what? Now that we've really had time to think about this is kind of a BS call, so we're going to pick it up. No, come on, man, call it consistently. But
Yep.
whatever.
And then just to finish my point, the other sack was when Aaron Rodgers slid behind the line of scrimmage, and then it got called a sack. So it was, he didn't get hit or anything, but
he did have some space there, I think, to probably gain a yard or two. So yeah, that's a very good point. The sack, the pocket was still the pocket was still closing in on him. So at the very least, it was a pressure. But yeah, I mean, I guess we're saying the same thing. Our offensive line is doing fantastic, and we have two of our best offensive linemen, out the last week or two. So we don't have word on Elton Jenkins yet. But honestly, based on what I've seen the past 2 weeks, if he is questionable, I say the Packers err on the side of caution and give him another week rest. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, I think given the way the line has actually been playing, they've been playing pretty well. I say get Elton Jenkins rested, get him back to close to 100% or as close as we can get him, because there hasn't been a steep drop off in performance. So yeah, I say let him rest, keep these guys going. Josh Nijman seems like he's getting into a little bit of a groove. I'm sure he's going to play, but Josh Myers is also on the injury report with a finger. Guessing they'll just tape it up and he'll be good to go. But yeah, impressed so far with how this offensive line has played without our top two offensive linemen.
100%. Well, before we talk about our thoughts and predictions on how this game is going to go, around the NFC, the Packers, of course, as usual, are on the top of the NFC North. But around the NFC, the Minnesota Vikings are hosting the Detroit Lions, and the Detroit Lions have lost every way possible this year. They showed some life against us in the first half. They lost on a record-breaking field goal just what was that, last week or the week before. I would love to see the 0-4 Lions march into Minnesota and steal a win from them.
Oh yeah, I think we'd all love to see that. All us resident Minnesotans would love to see the Lions hand the Vikings a loss for sure.
And then the Bears are taking on the surprisingly good LA Raiders in LA. Las Vegas Raiders in Las Vegas. So hopefully the Raiders can take care of business there, and the Lions and the Packers can be the two victorious teams. But before I officially give my pick, it is a close game, right? And I think deservedly so. This is a game that I think the Packers need to win. I think it's a game that we should win, but I think it's going to be a lot tougher than last week against the Steelers. A much more explosive quarterback, explosive play makers on that side of the ball, like we've talked about, and our defense is a little bit dinged up. The Packers are 3-point favorites on the road, and the odds makers have this game being relatively high scoring, 50-point over-under. And that kind of falls right in line with what I'm seeing, what I'm predicting. I am going to predict the under, and I do think the Packers are going to squeak this one out, but I do think that the Cincinnati Bengals are going to cover in this game, meaning I think the Packers are going to win 24-23.
Okay, I think it's going to be a little bit higher scoring than that. I know the Bengals haven't allowed a lot of points, and they haven't really put up a ton of points either. However, I think, when you made the point about our defense being dinged up, especially our secondary, we don't have a great middle linebacking core at the moment. So I'm going to say the Packers do win this game as well, but I'm going to go 28-26.
Oh, I love it. And for that to happen, offensively or defensively, which player in your mind needs to be the player of the game and have himself a night?
Offensively, I'm going to go with Big Bob Tunyon.
Love it.
I'm
Great choice.
thinking throwing some big blocks, getting open in the
Boom.
flat, a couple of
80
slant
plus
routes.
yards receiving.
I'm gonna go probably like 60 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns.
All right. Love
Something like that.
Love it.
What about you? Who on offense?
On offense, I'm gonna go AJ Dillon. I know it's a little bit of an easier choice, but I think we're gonna go a little bit lighter on Jones. I think he's still nursing the ankle. He's still showing up on the injury report. So AJ Dillon is gonna have himself a night and drop the Bengals back a little bit in that defensive ranking for rush stopping.
Gotcha. Okay. On defense, I'm gonna go with Kevin King, assuming he plays, because I think most offenses at this point know where our weaknesses on defense are, especially in the secondary. I think he's going to get a lot of targets. I think teams are recognizing that Stokes is playing pretty well right now. And they're going to test him as well. But I think Kevin King, if he can have a solid to strong game, that's going to bode really well for us.
I thought you were going to snipe my pick there. I essentially, for similar reasons, was going to go Eric Stokes because, like Kevin King, to your point, King is likely the target for as our weak spot. But to my point, I think a lot of NFL coaches and coordinators are still going to look to a rookie to confuse him and to target him and make him prove it. So for the same reasons, I think we're both right. The two of them need to have themselves a day again with the amount of explosive pass playmakers that Cincinnati has.
All right, perfect. Well, we've got our predictions in. We've picked our players for the game. I think the only thing left to say is, everybody, thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on Google Podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon, whatever you get your podcasts. And Charles, as always, go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go.